Hello Libra, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot in Wonderland by Barbara Moore, illustrated by Eugene Smith. Website at the bottom is llewellyn.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you'd like to. Supportive Oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. Website on the back is rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A as an apple, U as an umbrella. What do we have for Libra? Somebody's getting involved in something. Okay, who is this? That's interesting because I don't usually... Something with the past. Somebody's getting involved. Should they be involved? Let's do a little bit more. I'm like, somebody, like that's the strongest energy, so... Realization. Okay, somebody's getting involved. I'm going to show you the card that I keep noticing that frog, like somebody's getting involved, and I don't think they should be. Is that you? I don't know if that's really you, though. I don't think that's you. Let's see. Who is this person that's getting involved? I don't think that's you. I think it's somebody else. Somebody's trying to get you out of the situation. They want you out of it. They're afraid you're going to get caught up in the middle of it. Somebody's trying to pull you out of the situation. I don't know if that's a good idea either. Somebody's trying to pull you out of the situation. I feel like when this person gets involved and they're pulling you out, I don't think that's the best. It's because it happens really fast. Somebody tries to pull you out. Somebody's trying to block this. This isn't really a block card, but I keep getting like this. Somebody doesn't want you to see what's really happening. And this is the Hermit card. They seem to know a lot about what's going on. They don't want you to see something. They know, but they don't want you to know. That's not the typical energy I get from the Hermit card, but I feel like there's something, they don't want something talked about. They don't want people to know. I think the reason that I'm seeing it with the Hermit card is like, if you do stay involved with it, you will figure it out. I also kind of more feel for you, for Libra, for those this is going to hit for. Once you decide to kind of look closer at the person trying to pull you out of the situation, once you look closer at it, it won't be hard for you to figure out what's really going on here. You may not want to see it. It may be somebody that you care about and somebody that maybe you like or you want to believe better than is actually going on here. You might want to believe better for them. That might be the hardest part. It's kind of like, I want to see them in a better light than what's actually going on here. But once you decide to look at what's really going on here, you will find out fairly easily once you decide to really look at it. Like once you like pick up the book and you're like, let me go through and look at what I want to find and find the information, look at the references, you're going to add it up fairly easily. It's not going to be difficult for you. The only reason you haven't at this point is because you haven't really been looking, is what I'm getting. This person is actually quite skilled with manipulation. I got that face down, I'm noticing. This card was face down, but what it was, is that the Knight or the King? That's the King of Swords. Somebody is very skilled. The King, any of the court cards, but especially the King and Queens, because I tend to read things right side up. I don't see like right side up is good or upside down is bad. It tends to talk about effectiveness. It depends on what they want to do with it. And this energy feels like they can be, the King of Swords and the Queen, both of them, can be very manipulative if they want to be. If they so choose, if they so feel they need to. They're not the only ones who can do that. I know that, but can we get a little bit more about why? Four of Fire and the Judgment that's kind of in question here. They're looking out for themselves. They do look out for those they care about. I'm going to be fair, because I feel like this is somebody you'd like to think better of. I keep getting that. You might have a long-standing history with them. but things, they're not always right what they're doing. They do shortchange people. I think that's kind of a very, it's a very nice way of putting it. Um, Maybe this is somebody who does like you. I also feel like they like you better when you do what they want you to do. They're one of those. Kind of like if you're staying in line with where I want you to stay, I'll give you more. If you start going outside the boundaries, we might have some difficulties because they have certain bounds. Like, no, Libra, you stay over where I tell you to stay. They're one of those. So if you start, like crossing their defined boundaries, if that makes sense, like not so much like their personal boundaries, but kind of like Libra, stay out of that situation. I'll handle that. You just stay over where I told you to stay. I feel like if this might click with some of you, like what this person is or who this person is, kind of like, no, 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 I'll take care of the groceries. You just go stay over there in the living room. Like, no, 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 no. I'll take care of what's in the garage. You stay, over on the other side of the house. Or, if this is a work person, kind of like, you deal with Sally and Bart. I'll deal with the rest of them over here. You just keep an eye on Sally and Bart. I just want you to do that. You just stay over there. And I'll take care of the rest. There's that one. They do like you, though. Okay. Why do they like you? Can we just do that? Because I want to move into the future, but it's not wanting to. Why do they like you? They think you're impartial. The Empress upside down is telling me they don't think you look out for yourself very well. They don't think you look out for yourself. I keep getting that because I'm getting like, how is the Empress applying? And I saw it like applied to you as Libra. The Empress reversed to me is somebody who doesn't look out for themselves. They get very they can get very worn down or very depleted, very tired because they're helping everybody and they're not helping themselves. Like, this is somebody who makes sure everybody else eats and then they don't have anything, or they just get the leftover scraps. They don't make sure everybody else also looks out for them as much as they look out for other people. That's when the Empress is in balance. They do look out. She does look out for everybody else, but she makes sure that they look out for her just as much. She does take care of other people, but she also takes care of herself just as much. When that's reversed, that's like she's not being taken care of by everybody else. She's just being used as a resource, and people aren't looking out for her as much as she's looked out for them, and that's not fair. And she's also like changing herself. Like, maybe she needs new clothes, maybe she needs some good food, maybe she needs a minute just to have some peace, but she sacrifices it constantly because she feels like, well, somebody else needs it more. And this person thinks that you just shortchange yourself left and right. Doesn't have to mean that that's what's happening, but that's how they view you. They also see you as a tool to help them strategize for what they want, and that you'll go forward with what they want. They seem to think you'll do that without question. Take that with a grain of salt. I don't know. They do like you, though. But they also try to look out for you. They do, I think, it's, it's got its thing. You do have a positive relationship with them? People, nobody's perfect, right? Welcome to the world. We all have problems. Everybody does. There's the perfect people that never existed. Not in this level, not in this incarnation. Nope. We all try to do what we can do, right? You do see a lot of good in this person. I don't want to paint this person like they're this giant ogre, because I don't think of them that way. This is just highlighting some of their less favorable characteristics. We all have less favorable characteristics. Everybody does. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like we try to celebrate those bad characteristics, but we all have them to some respect. Everybody does. And it's like I can hear somebody in the background saying, sometimes that's arrogance and believing we don't have bad characteristics. Maybe that's the downfall, thinking we're perfect and we're not perfect. I don't know where that's coming from, but maybe you're dealing with somebody who's like that. They don't believe they have bad characteristics, but they do. We all do, to some extent. That's just a reality of life, you know what I mean? There's this person pulling you out very fast. Um, you do know better. You do know better. The thing is, don't let this happen. Don't let them pull you out of this situation. It's time for you to kind of pull in more strength to be more of that balancing energy. It's the gift of Libra to actually balance things. Um, you can stay in this situation and still work with them. It's going to be challenging because they're not going to like that you're not backing out, but you definitely know how to make this happen and still stay in the situation. It's going to be challenging, definitely. You're going to see them for the side that they don't want you to see. You're going to see things they don't want you to see. Um, the thing is, when you start dealing with this more on the truthful level with them, kind of like, all right, I see that side of you. I see that side of you don't want me to see. I see what you're doing there. You'll be able to help them find something. You'll help them find a better resolution. They need to kind of see you more as an equal. I don't think they're seeing you as an equal right now. I kind of want to go back to that whole Empress thing with like, they don't think you look out for yourself well enough. They don't think you really take care of yourself in these situations. The thing is, you probably do. You just are very careful and quiet about it. You might be just very secretive about it because sometimes that's what it needs. You just need to, like, when you get something, it's kind of like, you just keep it to yourself because other people, like, you know, you get a piece of bread and they're like, oh my God, Libra and all the bread, and they're taking the bread and they have this and that and that. Like, people overdo things. You had one little piece of bread. Mind you, you made a full meal, you know, soup to nuts for everybody else, but you get one little piece of bread and oh, Libra's taking the whole thing. So maybe you just keep it to yourself a lot of times. Maybe just keep it quiet. So like, you know, I'll have my little piece of bread and I'll have some stuff and I'll make sure I have what I need. But I just keep it to myself because that way people don't start pointing fingers. Oh, we're watching you, Libra. There might be something like that. Go, you let me know in the comments if I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you might be just secretive about balancing their things out. Like if people don't realize what you're doing, it doesn't become a problem. You might have to become more on the forefront with this person. Like, yeah, you know what? I do take care of myself, and this is how I've been doing it. I just don't make it an issue, and this is why I don't. I don't let people know this and that because I deserve to have my fair share too. I just don't let people use it against me. That's all. Especially when, like, you know, in the course of a year, maybe what I want happens in the first 3 or 4 months, and I get everything I want in the first 3 or 4 months, but I make sure everybody else gets what they fairly need in the rest of the year. It's just I want here, so I get this. They want there, so they get that. It does balance in the end. Sometimes it's a planned out thing, but if people see me getting my stuff first, maybe it's not everything, but then they're like, oh, look at, there's Libra, there's taking everything. So I don't let that happen. I just keep it to myself. I keep it quiet. You might have to become more vulnerable to this person. They become more vulnerable to you. You need to help them. Don't back out of this situation. They're trying to pull you out because they don't want you to see what they're really doing because some of it's a little off color. They need your reference. They need to have your balance. I feel like their end goals are pretty good. It's the way they're going about it is not. If you can come into this can make this a lot better. You know people are not as squeaky clean as they look on the outside. You already know this. But on the upside, when this person has somebody to confide in who can really see them for who they are, it also brings down the stress level for them. They need somebody to help them with a little bit of a contrary opinion that needs to come forward. There will be strategizing coming forward. If you're able to stay in this and you stay in this situation, like it seems like it's better if you do, more radish. Why am I going to say radish? I'm getting the word radish, whatever that means. Radish. I'm getting radish salad. I'm getting people making those little flowers out of radishes. I don't know what the point is with that, but there you go. Putting more focus in what you already have, making something more beautiful. It may seem simple. It may seem like it's just a benign thing, but you can make something much more beautiful and much more effective. Which, okay, if we're going to go to the radish thing, if somebody just throws a couple radishes in a salad, it's fun. I mean, who cares? Like they're just there. Maybe they're a little bit of color. But if you're going to take those radishes and you're going to carve them into roses and place them strategically, that makes that salad a lot more fun. It's a lot more visually pleasing and a lot more compatible. People like, oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. I wonder what else they made. Like, people like that visual. It may seem like a little thing, but that does mean a lot to people. you're going to change this aspect of that too. Kind of like, let's make this more pleasurable for people. It's still a radish, but it can be a lot more. It can be a lot more enjoyable for people by having that visual. Strategizing coming up. Something's going better. What's all this over here? Because all this seems to be connected. Whatever's going on with this person, they're not actually having the long-term effect that they want. Can we have a little bit more with that? That's another reason for you to get involved. The way it's going, it's seeming to lead nowhere. Two of Swords. There's a block, but Judgment. There's something isn't going anywhere, but I'm also getting a judgment in the favor of this person is like maybe it shouldn't. They have to realize what's not working. And that might be a big piece of this too, kind of like the way things keep working out with the unexpected variables. There's a lot of things they're not seeing, and it's ending up in things not going anywhere. They have to realize what's not working here, and you're the component. By keeping you out of this situation, they're not going to figure out this last piece. Libra tends to be very diplomatic. I feel like there's other people involved here. You can find out what the missing piece is. That's a big piece of why you need to be involved here, because nothing is changing. Whatever this person's trying to do, they're not achieving it. By keeping you in part of it, by you staying a part of it, we do have a chance to achieve what needs to be achieved here. There's also something else here with the realization. Like, there's something here that needs to come forward that the person who is... I feel like you like them, but I do feel like they're manipulative. They're not seeing something. They're not seeing another option. They're not seeing another way to do this. I feel like they're not taking other people's perception. They're not taking other people's wants and needs into account, and they need to. I also feel this with Libra, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. Libra tends to be that one, even if you don't like somebody, but you're like, well, but they if they're putting into a situation, they deserve to get something out. I don't like them. Maybe you don't like this person, but you're like, but they're putting what they need to. They're doing their part, so they deserve to get something out of it. Libra will still make sure that the person, even though you don't like them, you'll make sure they'll get something to be fair. And maybe that's another piece of this. Maybe you need to add that element in. Kind of like, all right, listen, King of Swords, whoever they may be, Monarch of Swords, we'll call them. Listen, I don't like them either, but they did do their fair share, and they need to be rewarded for that. By rewarding that person, things get better, other doors open. This might be where they're falling short. They're not rewarding people who deserve to be rewarded because they don't like them. And you're like, listen, I don't like them either. But they did their fair share. They need to get their fair amount out. That's if you're involved, this goes a lot better. If you stay out of it, I feel like this just doesn't go anywhere. So I also feel like that's kind of what this reading is. Kind of like if you don't want to be a part of it, then you just, okay, then as long as you're okay with it and you see it for what it is, if you're okay with it, then you're okay with it. But if you do get involved with this, the situation has a chance to evolve. I'm not going to guarantee anything, but has a chance to evolve, and it could be better for everybody. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.